The Sacred Decode, the Ordered Genesis, unveiling the heart of creation through Steven Universe, as told by GJ the Fragile Warrior. Welcome, Divine Seekers. This is the Sacred Decode, a series where we take what the world calls fiction and unveil the sacred codes hiding in plain sight. Cartoons, movies, music, childhood memories, they are not random. They are transmissions, spirit speaking in symbols, memory, and metaphor. They are the gospel in disguise. Today, we're decoding Steven Universe, a show that, on the surface, is about animated gemstones and space moms. But underneath, it's about you. It's about the ordered genesis of your own becoming, the return to the God within, told through the eyes of a boy with a star on his shirt and a galaxy in his heart. The tenfold genesis, the silent potential, before form, Ein Sof hour, before homeworld, before the gems. Before you took your first breath, there was the formless. In Kabbalah, it's called Ein Sof hour, the boundless, unmanifest light. In Steven Universe, this is the energy before creation, the void before the diamonds took shape. In your life, it's the space between dreams and action. The feeling that something's coming, but it hasn't landed yet. You are still becoming, and even your silence carries seed. The divine emanation, the many from the one, Sephirot. You are not one thing. You are a mother and a mystic, a lover and a leader, a warrior and a witness. Just like the gems emanate from the source, you too are a fractal expression of divine consciousness. Not fragmented, faceted. Every role you carry is sacred. Every identity is real. You are not broken. You are many reflections of one flame. The sacred union, fusion and the divine marriage, hieros gamos. Fusion isn't just two gems dancing. It's the merging of forces that should have never been separated. This is the true hieros gamos, the sacred marriage. In society, we've obsessed over outer union, romance, twin flames, sex, marriage. But without inner union, the divine masculine and divine feminine within, nothing holds. Steven teaches that fusion is power, but only when rooted in trust. In your life, this means learning to merge. Your drive with your softness, your logic with your intuition, your voice with your silence. Until you are whole. The cosmic order and its illusion, homeworld is Maya. Homeworld had rules, labels, roles, control. Sound familiar? That's Maya, the illusion that structure equals truth. We've lived it. Jobs that crush our spirit. Churches that shame instead of heal. Families that love you until you shift. Steven says no. He breaks the system by bringing truth with tenderness. And that's the path of every soul who remembers. You were never here to obey the illusion. You came to reveal the real. The alchemy of transformation. Suffering as catalyst, negredo, albedo, rubedo. Rock bottoms are sacred. Negredo, the blackening, is the breakdown. Albedo, the whitening, is the cleansing. Rubedo, the reddening, is when you rise with a crown. Every gem went through it. Lapis, bismuth, peridot. And so did you. Pain didn't come to break you. It came to transmute you. The resonance of empathy, Ubuntu. Steven feels everything, not because he's weak, but because he's awake. This is Ubuntu. I am because we are. Have you ever cried over someone else's pain? Felt the world on your chest? Collapsed under empathy? You are not crazy. You are interconnected. Your tears water more than just your story. The eternal. Now, Sabbath consciousness, the law of 8, and merging heaven with earth. Steven learns to be present. Not always fixing, not always fighting, just being. That's Sabbath consciousness. In the ancient code, the seventh day is the crown, the portal of return, the pause that lets heaven touch earth. And in that pause, we are commanded to honor your mother and father, biologically and cosmically. Isis and Ra, the divine feminine and masculine. Your 72 angels, the codes within your spirit. Your higher self, the I am that remembers what you forgot. And then comes the 8th. The 8th day is resurrection. It's not hustle, it's holy motion. It's the moment you rise not because you're ready, but because you're realigned. 7 is rest, 8 is rebirth. Together, they merge heaven and earth. Manifestation, Theurgy, and the will to create. You don't manifest with your thoughts. You manifest with your alignment. Steven doesn't just hope, he acts with intention. That's Theurgy, divine will embodied through sacred action. Want peace? Be it. Want truth? Live it. Want love? Choose it when it's hard. That's manifestation. The end of illusion. Liberation, nirvana, moksha. Ever realize a belief you held wasn't even yours? That's moksha. That's nirvana. Freedom isn't found in a retreat. It's found in the day you say, I'm done living someone else's idea of who I should be. Liberation begins when illusion ends. And it ends when you see you were never unworthy. The realized kingdom, Shekinah on earth. What if heaven is not a place we go to, but a state we return to? In Steven Universe, the dream is simple. Humans and gems living in truth. Messy, whole, together. This is Shekinah, the indwelling divine. Not perfection, but presence. Not escape, but embodiment. Heaven is not coming. Heaven is awakening. Fun fact, Stephen meet Stephen. Did you know? In the Bible, Stephen was the first Christian martyr, a man full of grace and power, Acts 6:8, who stood for truth and was stoned for it. In Acts 7:55, as the stones flew, it says, Stephen, full of the Holy Spirit, looked up to heaven and saw the glory of God. Now think of Steven Universe. A boy who challenges systems, lives through compassion, and transforms the world, often rejected for it. So maybe, just maybe, there's always been a Stephen who sees the cosmos, tells the truth, and takes the stones. Divine seekers, remember, cartoons are scrolls, memory is medicine, and you are not just watching stories. You are the Genesis unfolding. So if this decoded your spirit, like, share, subscribe. Visit figalisticrestoration.com. And remember, the Sabbath is a throne dot, the 8th is resurrection, and you are the fusion of heaven and earth.